Kanye has been telling people for years that Harley Pasternak is not just a gym trainer. And no one knows any gym trainer that texts you and threatens to institutionalize you and take you away from your kids that formerly worked for the military. Speaking of his celeb clients, just showing you some on his website here. That's a lot of people to be training at the gym. Everyone from Gwyneth Paltrow to Kim Kardashian, Katy Perry. Man, what's this guy's gym routine for someone with military training? I mean, literally, we could scroll forever and you could just see how many A-listers he manages at the gym. Some who I can't imagine have that great of a workout routine. And it really does make you wonder why we are always getting the same things said out of Hollywood. But there are some clients that have always struck me as odd. Harley Pasternak has also had a lot of clients who have died, in strange circumstances. Brittany Murphy, do you remember her? She died back in 2009, collapsed in the bathroom of her home, and she was found unconscious. She was then transported to the hospital. She was extremely young when she died. The autopsy results say that she died of pneumonia and iron deficiency. Okay. Pasternak claimed that Brittany's husband, who then died shortly thereafter as well, had hired him to work with Brittany Murphy. So that's interesting. Then Mac Miller, I don't know if you remember, the 26-year-old rapper who died also of an accidental drug overdose. Pasternak had told Page Six that he was just about to see Miller. Miller was just about to walk into his studio on the day that he died. He said, quote, "I was mid-session with someone expecting him to show up about 45 minutes later. One of the ladies who works with me walked in with a kind of blank look on her face and held up her phone, and there was the news release about Miller's death." And then there's Aaron Carter, to connect the dots with you, because this one has always bothered me the most. On the very day that Kanye West tweeted out Harley Pasternak's tweets, Aaron Carter responded to Kanye West. You can see that date on November 3rd, responded to that text message that Kanye shared, and he said, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." They never had the opportunity to talk because less than 48 hours later, Aaron Carter was found dead. He died at his home in Lancaster, California, at the age of 34, and his body was found in a bathtub by his housekeeper. And the LA County Medical Examiner's coroner, and you guys know if you're reading Chaos, that what they rule these deaths means absolutely nothing compared to what the facts are, said that it was just accidental. He drowned after he wanted to speak to Kanye West about the Harvey Pasternak text messages. Harley Pasternak, pardon me. Jolly West, quite literally, as a part of a CIA program, said that they had successfully found a cocktail of drugs which could give people mental illnesses. If they needed them to forget something, they needed them to stop doing something, they could just give them a cocktail of drugs and that would be over. And now I would like to draw your attention to Harley Pasternak's 2019 interview that he gave to Escape Fitness, discussing his military training and the impact of drugs for the military. Take a listen.
And the area that I was interested in was how drugs and food affect muscular performance. And
when you say drugs, was that like performance enhancing drugs, or are they
all
just
kinds of drugs?
Oh, right. Okay.
So working for the military, I wasn't governed by the same laws that the typical person was. So I could look at the impact of certain drugs that are not everyday things. So we looked at a drug called modafinil, which was for narcoleptics. So if you give a soldier this drug, how long could they stay awake for without having any health detriment?
Is that used now as one of these brain drugs? I've heard the name before somewhere.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Modafinil, it will keep you awake, but it's not a stimulant.
Really?
So if a special forces person has to stay awake for 3 nights waiting for the right opportunity to do whatever they have to do, we could give them modafinil and it would keep them alert.
So if you want to know who I believe is a monster, Harley Pasternak would be that individual. And as I said, I think that Ye barely escaped with his life. And I will always view him and deem him to be a survivor. And